students. Good morning, teacher. Teacher.
Good morning, students! Today we are going to learn about the flow of energy and living system. I'll show you a video about the important things of the flow of energy and living system. So watch and listen carefully because afterwards I'll ask you a question.
Wait a minute, guys. I know you guys would be thinking that if the title is Energy Flow Through Living System, then why did I put energy like that? So I'm not gonna tell you, but I'll wait for your answers after my explanation is done. And then I'll tell you that why did I put energy like that in the starting. So first, I'm gonna explain you about energy. If you talk to somebody about anything that is related to energy, so they will understand what you're saying by the words you use to describe energy. So from that I would say that there are different types of energy. If you say energy only, so people would understand that you're talking about energy, means everything that is in energy or related to it. But they won't know what type of energy you're saying. If something else is in your mind, but you're only saying energy, so they won't understand what type of energy you're talking about. So you have to clearly say it because there are so many types of energy. As you can see in this pic, there are different types of energy: electrical, chemical, heat, atomic, potential, and kinetic. But for now, I'll explain you guys about kinetic and potential energy because it's related to the 6 more important things of energy flow through living system. As you can see in this pic, the boy is putting his full force to get at the top of the mountain. That's kinetic energy. When he reaches at the top of the mountain, that's potential energy. And when he again goes down from the mountain, that's kinetic energy. So in simple words, I'll say that kinetic energy is in motion and potential energy is in its position. First law of thermodynamics. Also, the second important thing in energy flow through living system. By the name you would already understood that it's the law of thermodynamics. And it's very important to follow the law. It doesn't matter where is the law, but wherever there is a law, then you have to follow it. Thermodynamics is the branch of physical science that deals with the relations between heat and other forms of energy, such as mechanical, electrical, or chemical energy. The first law of thermodynamics states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed from one type to another. This is called energy conversion or energy transformation. Photosynthesis, the third important thing in energy flow through living system. I'm sure everyone had learned this before in the primary grade level. So I'm just explaining it again if some of you forgot about it. Photosynthesis is a process used by plants and other organisms to convert light energy into chemical energy that can later be released to fuel the organisms. As you can see in this pic, the light energy is coming from the sun and the chemical energy is in the plant. If you're thinking how is the plant chemical energy, so I'll tell you that photosynthesis in the plant converts solar energy into chemical energy. Ecological niche, the fourth important thing in energy flow through living system. A niche is the match of a species to a specific environmental condition. It describes how an organism or population responds to the distribution of resources and competitors, and how it in turn alters those same factors. Example: what is the ecological niche of a black bear? It lives in the forest, eats nuts, berries, insects, and small animals, fed on by blood-feeding insects and parasites, help carry seeds of berries for long distances in their digestive systems and expel them, allowing the seeds to grow. The flow of energy in a food chain. It's the fifth important thing in energy flow through living system. The number of trophic levels in a food chain is limited because the energy transfer within the ecosystem is inefficient. A major part of the energy stored in the producer level or in the animal level is lost at each step in the food chain. As you can see in this pic, energy is transferred along food chains from one trophic level to the next. But not all of the energy available to organisms at one level can be absorbed by organisms at the next level. The amount of available energy decreases from one trophic level to another. It's because the food that the producers manufactures serves as their energy source to sustain their various life activities. As organisms perform metabolic function in each level, energy is also lost in the form of heat energy or waste energy. Scientists have calculated that, on the average, 90% of the energy that enters each link of the food chain dissipates or is lost in the form of heat in the process. Pyramid of energy, the sixth important thing in energy flow through a living system. Pyramid of energy is similar to the flow of energy in a food chain. As you can see in this pic, the producer was able to capture only about 100,000 joules of energy from the sun during the photosynthesis. But it was able to provide only about 10,000 joules of energy, means 10% of 100,000 for the primary consumer's use. And like that it will just decrease, like from 100% to 10%, from 10% to 1%, and from 1% to 0.1%. The second law of thermodynamics. It's also the seventh most important thing in energy flow through a living system. Already I've explained you about the first law of thermodynamics. Now I'll tell you about the second law of thermodynamics. The second law of thermodynamics states that whenever energy is transformed, it dissipates, meaning it's lost within the system as heat. As I've said before, that I'll tell you that why did I put energy like that in the starting? So did you get that why did I put it like that in the starting? If you didn't get, so you can watch the video again to understand better, or after giving the answer I'll put what I've said about the 7 important things of energy flows through a living system in short for you to understand each of them. So you can pause the video or take a screenshot of it that time. So I've put energy like that in the starting because if you notice carefully in the rest of the 6 important things of energy flow through living system, you will see that each of them is related and having energy in it. So my video ends here, but don't worry, I'll put the 7 important things so that you can understand if you didn't understand, so then take a screenshot or pause the video.
So, student, did you understand the lesson?
Students, yes teacher. Teacher.
So, I have one question for all of you to define the lesson in one word.